The Richardson family was considered a model to emulate in the eyes of the entire town. Their mansion rose above the surroundings like a symbol of wealth and unshakable stability. White columns, a well-kept garden, the gleam of carriages, splendid soirees, all of it created an ideal picture where it seemed there was no place for shadows or flaws. Yet behind the thick walls of the mansion lay another reality: silence, heavy and agonizing, born not of the absence of sounds, but of disbelief that they could be heard. Daniel, the family's only son, grew up surrounded by care and luxury, but from the age of 3, he was considered deaf. Doctors, invited from different cities, confirmed the diagnosis with solemn faces. The parents accepted their words as a final sentence and built their son's life as if the world truly could not reach him. Conversations in the house grew scarcer, footsteps quieter, music disappeared, and the entire mansion seemed to submit to the silence of the child. However, a few years later, a young nanny named Helen arrived in the household. She began noticing strange inconsistencies. At first, they were mere trifles: a slight start at a sudden draft, laughter coinciding with the loud barking of a dog outside, or a quick turn of the head when his name was called a little louder than usual. At first, Helen thought it was coincidence, but the more she observed the boy, the stronger grew her sense that something was wrong. One evening, during dinner in the dining hall, glittering with crystal and silver, a glass slipped from the table and shattered. The sharp chime filled the room, and Daniel flinched so strongly that he buried his face in his hands. In that moment, Helen understood. The boy could hear. Yet, along with the discovery came a new fear. Why was he hiding it? From then on, the nanny watched him more closely. Sometimes a shadow of anxiety flashed in his eyes, as if he feared being exposed. It became clear someone, perhaps unconsciously, had taught him not to trust his own senses and to suppress them. The child's secret turned into a heavy burden for Helen as well, for her silence meant leaving him trapped in a fate imposed from outside. The truth was revealed unexpectedly and without witnesses. One day, weary of his own deception, Daniel quietly confessed to Helen that he had always been able to hear, but was afraid to tell his parents. He was convinced they would think he was making it up, or else take him again to doctors who would only reaffirm their judgment. This fear had lived within him for years, turning every sound into a forbidden gift. When the truth finally came to light, the Richardson household was shaken. The parents, long accustomed to the image of their suffering yet resigned son, were stunned. New examinations shattered the previous diagnosis. Daniel's hearing was perfectly healthy. The doctor's mistake, supported by the parents' unquestioning faith in the authority of science, had deprived the boy of a childhood filled with sound. From that moment, change began within the house. Daniel gradually stopped hiding his voice, learned to laugh and speak without fear. His parents, consumed by guilt, tried to rebuild their relationship with him, this time not through gestures and glances, but through words, questions, and answers. They learned to listen not only to his speech, but to the child himself, to his desires, joys, and resentments. The mansion came alive. Footsteps, laughter, and light music, once locked away in chests like useless ornaments, returned to its halls. In the garden, Daniel's ringing voice was heard more and more often, and even the walls, long accustomed to oppressive silence, seemed to breathe more freely. Helen stayed by his side, understanding that her faith in the boy had changed not only his destiny, but the entire family. She saw how the suffocating silence was slowly leaving the house, replaced by trust and love. From then on, the Richardson mansion ceased to be a cold fortress of perfection. It became a true home, filled with sounds where each new day brought not fear, but the living echo of joy. Such an amazing story. Dear friends, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. There is much more ahead.